guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another foundation review. And this is actually another foundation that I'm quite excited about because everything that I've read and even all the reviews that I've read on the website, it sounds pretty damn amazing. So we're going to be testing out the new Morphe Filter Effect Soft Focus Foundation. This is their brand new release. It's only just available on the website now. It sounds actually amazing, and this one's actually made in Italy as well for all of you interested. I guess Morphe is like luxing up their brand a little bit now. I've got to tell you, it's infused with skincare, hyaluronic acid included. It's got vitamin E in it, so skincare ingredients in there to hydrate and protect and look after the skin. But then it is also sweat-proof, transfer-proof, and long-wearing. It's like everything that you want in a product. Normally you only get products that are hydrating and then products that are long wearing. You don't normally get like a 2-in-1. So I'm really excited to see how this goes, see how it wears on my skin. So as per all of my other foundation reviews, I'm going to be showing you the formula nice and up close. We're going to apply it. We're going to see, what it looks like. If you're new here, I've got textured oily skin, and then I'm going to be wearing it all day. We're going to do check-ins and we're going to see just how well it wears on my skin. And we're going to see if all of the claims that they're making about the formula are actually accurate. I'm excited. So this here is what the packaging looks like. It does come in 40 shades, which is really awesome. You get 28 ml of product. Like I said, it's made in Italy. It's a glass bottle. It's got a matte black cap and then a little pump thing at the top there. It's honestly really beautiful. It's really nice packaging. So I'm just reading on the website, and like I said, it does come in 40 shades. And it does look like they've got a pretty good, it's very tricky to tell from swatches on the website. I know that Makeup by Shayla was really heavily involved in this campaign, and she's got a beautiful rich skin tone. And from the swatches, it does look like it's got a very good variance through the shade range there, all the way to a really nice deep dark color. Amazing to see. And 12-hour wear. Hyaluronic acid to boost moisture levels, vitamin E, antioxidant protection, pore blurring pigments to diffuse the look of imperfections, natural buildable coverage, long wear sweat-proof, transfer-proof, free of oils, fragrances, and parabens. Like everything that I'm reading on the website. It sounds so good. Basically, what I'm reading is it's going to give me a really beautiful natural glow, but it's actually going to stay looking that way. And it's going to look after my skin while I wear it. So let's not mess around. Let's get this onto my skin. Now, unfortunately, I honestly don't know how I feel about whether or not this shade is going to match me. I have the shade Filter Medium 11, and it's possibly going to be way too pale, but we're going to make it work. Don't worry, we're going to make this work. I posted on my Instagram stories about reviewing this foundation, and everybody really wanted to see it, so we're going to make the shade work. Okay, formula-wise, it's a little runny, but it still does have quite a bit of thickness to it there, and there's definitely no scent that I can smell. Let's see what it looks like on my sponge. Yeah, pretty thick. I'm going to start applying this onto my skin. All right, so it's definitely more of a medium coverage, like with a sponge. I'm not really getting a huge amount of coverage onto the skin. It does apply quite smoothly, but I do feel like maybe this one, I don't know, maybe it's more of a brush application, because I feel like it's, I don't know, like you kind of get sort of little lines in it as you are applying it. I am doing this, I forgot to say, this foundation review like I always do these. So this side of my face, I'm not wearing a primer, and then this side of my face, I am wearing a primer, so that we can just compare the two and see if there's really a big difference and see, yeah. A lot of people like to see it without a primer, so I do try to do that as well. And definitely the shade's off, but like I said, we're going to make it work. As I'm kind of moving along, it's like leaving little patches. Like you have to go in with a sponge really softly, because otherwise it kind of leaves patches of skin like where the foundations kind of come off, if that makes sense. Okay, so as far as it feels on the skin, it definitely feels quite lightweight. Like I don't find it to be overly particularly sticky or tacky or anything. I kind of feel like a little bit like a floating whitehead at the minute. I'm going to fix everything up. I might try a little bit of tinted powder even, and some bronzer to get the shade to match me. But yeah, now that I've kind of got the hang of it, the hang of the way that you need to apply it, it does look quite nice on the skin. I feel like it's definitely given my skin like a really smooth sort of effect. Like it's definitely added that sort of filtered look, which I do love. It's mostly just the shade that's the big contender at the minute. And you really do, like, you have to, like, really, like, this sponge is so ridiculously soft. It's the softest sponge that I've ever used. It's from my brand. It's our Pro Perfecting sponge. You don't normally have to be careful with the way that you use these sponges, but, like, with this particular formula, you have to be so gentle, because otherwise it kind of just transfers straight off the skin as you're applying it, which is interesting, seeing as it's a transfer-proof formula. So we'll see how it goes, but I'll zoom you in now so that you can have a little look at my skin close up, and then I'm going to add some color to my face. I mean, it'll be half my luck if it oxidizes and deepens down as it dries down. That would be great, but this is what it is looking like on my skin. So it's definitely a medium buildable coverage. I don't really think you're going to get a super full coverage out of this one. You know, certainly I can give you some other recommendations if you are looking for an affordable full coverage foundation. This one's more of a medium coverage. It is buildable, but like I said, just be really careful with how you apply it. But it's definitely given my skin like a really soft focus effect. It looks quite airbrushed. I'm not seeing it emphasize any of my pores or my texture or anything. Like, it does feel really nice, and it sort of dries down to kind of like a velvety finish. It's not overly sticky on the skin, even though it is a hydrating formula. It does feel really, really nice. All right, so I'm gonna jump off camera and quickly do the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be back to show you what my skin looks like then. It's honestly, like, now that it's on, it is looking really beautiful. I feel like it just needed a minute nearly to sit on the skin. And I feel like maybe it's oxidizing the tiniest little bit too. Ooh, okay, cool. All right, so I've got a little bit more makeup on. I'm leaving my eyes for now because I am going to be testing out a new eyeshadow palette in another video this afternoon. So I'm just gonna, it's not gonna make a difference to the foundation. Honestly, now that I've got color back in my face, everything's powdered down, my skin actually looks beautiful. It just looks so smooth and flawless. It looks really perfected. It looks so blurred out, like you can hardly see my pores at all. I am really impressed with how this is looking. Like, in the initial phases, like when I was applying it and like weird stuff was happening, I was like, oh, I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know how I feel. But now that it's on, it actually looks amazing. So here is my skin really nice and close up. Has not settled into my pores. We've got no caking. It's not settling into fine lines. Has an added texture. It just looks really, really smooth and beautiful. I'm really, really happy, honestly. Forehead looking amazing. Nose looks good. Woo! I'm feeling excited now. So we're gonna start the wear test and the check-ins now. So I will see you in about 6 hours. So fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything crossed that this still looks this nice on the skin in 6 hours. Because if it does, we're gonna have a winner on our hands, and it's super affordable. Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm back with my first check-in of this foundation, and honestly, you guys, I don't know what to think at this stage. I'm not sure. I still feel like overall it looks fairly nice on the skin, but you know how it said that it was transfer proof? It is absolutely not transfer proof. I wore a mask and literally all the foundation was gone from my nose. It was like it had never existed. It was like it had never been there in the first place. And I also have fading and transfer of the foundation down here on my chin. Like, the redness of these pimples is starting to show through, which is a real shame. Overall, I feel like it's not doing so bad as far as oil control goes, but I did have to completely cover my nose with concealer again and powder it because I had to film some other videos and I couldn't do that with like a red Rudolph nose. And now that I'm looking at it under these lights, oh no, it doesn't look like we have. I thought for a minute that we were starting to get some texture and some caking, but it still does look pretty good. Yeah, so far, she's definitely not transfer proof. I will say that it does feel really nice and lightweight on the skin, and certainly for a hydrating foundation, I would expect to be a lot more oily than I am. Like, as far as oil goes, it does look pretty good, but I'm really not impressed with how it's rubbing off in these areas down here, and like my acne spots are starting to show through. And it is also settling and creasing in these lines here on my forehead. And I've got to say, there's not a lot of products that actually settle into those fine lines, so that kind of concerns me as well. I'll zoom you in so that you can see. So here is a nice little close-up. Just down here is what I mean. Like, see how you can see the redness? It's sort of starting to show through. And not even only in that spot, like in multiple spots. Like it's sort of starting to happen over here as well. Like I said, I did have to completely like recover up my nose and repowder my nose. So my nose is looking good again. But I'm not even kidding you guys. It was like red raw. Like there was no makeup left on there. And it was only a disposable mask. It wasn't even like a fabric mask. It just transferred straight off. And also the settling up here in these lines. Can you see those there? So those three things are really the big things that I'm seeing right now. Overall, I feel like it doesn't look too terrible. It's certainly not the worst foundation that I've seen, and it really does feel so lightweight, like really, really lightweight, and it definitely looks really glowy and really pretty and like really soft on the skin, and it definitely still, I feel, is helping reduce, you know, the appearance of my pores and the texture on my skin. But yeah, there are a couple of things that are kind of annoying me. Oh yeah, it's caking around my nose a bit too. But yes, this is where we are at. We are 6 hours in now. I will see you again in another 6-ish hours, and we'll see what it is looking like then. All right, guys, so it is the end of the day. It's late at night. I'm finally ready to take my makeup off. Time to do a check-in and show you what this foundation is looking like. And honestly, I'm not actually mad at all at how this foundation is looking. It really, in my opinion, other than looking a little bit shiny, like more shiny than it did at our 6-hour check-in, I really don't feel like it actually looks that different on the skin. So we haven't had any more of that transferring off. Like still, you know, those little red acne spots, you know, you can still see them, but definitely by all means, they're not, like the foundation hasn't faded off or worn off any further than what it had earlier. I've still got foundation all on my nose. I have noticed sort of like a little bit of caking around the bottom of my nose, and obviously shine through the T-zone. We do still have a little bit of settling into fine lines up here. But pretty much overall, it is looking pretty damn good. And for an affordable foundation that is a hydrating formula that's got, you know, ingredients in it that are good for my skin, I really am not mad. So let's zoom in and have a close-up look. All right, so here is my skin nice and close up. As you can still see those little spots down here. We haven't got any caking. We haven't got any separating, and we don't really have any, you know, major areas of like texture or anything that's developed on the skin. It honestly still looks really, really smooth. It does also still feel super lightweight as well. Like I don't really feel like I'm wearing a heavy full face of makeup or anything. It's quite a breathable formula. We're definitely glowy. We are hoey and we are glowy, but at the same time, like I don't feel like it's like super, super bad. It's not like, whoa, I need to put setting powder on. I mean, I obviously would because this is more shiny than I would like to be, but it's also not like, did you dunk your head in a barrel of oil? Like it does still look pretty damn good. Here is the settling on my forehead. It's just here and here. Obviously that's like from frowning and stuff, but normally I don't actually get that with foundation, so that's definitely something to notice. Perhaps if you are someone who does get, you know, a significant amount of settling into fine lines and wrinkles, you may not like this one too much. But I do think like for 12 hours, it looks pretty good. Like it really does look pretty good. I'm just going to go in with some setting powder for a quick touch up just to see how it reacts and how it behaves, so you guys know for sure. Oh, it's coming up pretty nicely. Oh my gosh. I mean, to be fair, this powder is amazing for touching up with, but you definitely, like, you can tell when a foundation is looking no good after a touch up. Like, you really can tell. Look how fresh it's looking again. Oh my gosh. And there's no texture. There's no cakiness. Ooh, Morphe. I think that this may very well be your first foundation that I actually approve of for oily skin. And it's funny too that it's a hydrating formula. Like, who would have thunk it? Honestly, anything with hyaluronic acid in it, it's usually a banger. Look at this. Look how good it looks again. And it feels still really, really lightweight. It feels amazing on the skin. A touch-up approved, absolutely touch-up approved. It looks awesome. I have to say, guys, I have been quite shocked by this formula. Initially, when applying it, you know, I was having issues with it adhering to the skin. I just had to use very, very, very light pressure. Still blended out beautifully, and it was nearly like it needed to sit on the skin and almost dry down a little for the formula to become like really, really beautiful. Now, one thing that I will say, they claim that it is transfer proof. It's absolutely not transfer proof. Don't purchase this foundation thinking, you know, that it's not going to transfer off your skin. It absolutely will, and it did transfer off my skin very, very easily. If you are looking for something that's not going to transfer, I would try Estee Lauder Double Wear, or I would try the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage. Those are two really awesome options for, you know, foundations that really like glue onto the skin. It's certainly not transfer proof, but I do agree, it's got a soft focus effect on the skin. It blurs pores, it blurs texture. It looks really flattering on the skin. They say that it's a long wear formula, and I definitely do agree. It certainly is a long wear formula, and I mean, I've just touched up and it literally, I feel like I could wear my makeup for like another 12 hours. Like, it seriously looks brand new again. It's flexible to wear, it's not cakey, it's not heavy, and it's got all those amazing skincare ingredients in it. Morphe, I really, really like this. Honestly, this is a really nice formula, especially for the price. It's only $20. It's really affordable. It's awesome packaging. It's a really nice formula, and it has a really nice shade range. So there you go, guys. Those are all of my thoughts on the brand new Morphe foundation. Overall, thumbs up. It doesn't necessarily make, you know, like my top 5 foundations or anything, but it is beautiful. And if you are looking for something to blur the skin and something that actually looks glowy but still lasts all day, I do think that you will really like this one. Let me know all of your thoughts on how you thought it looked on my skin in the comments down below. I do need to purchase this, and I will purchase this in a deeper shade. Medium 11s, I need a much deeper shade than this, but I will be picking it up, and I will certainly be continuing to test it and update you guys on any of my thoughts. But let me know, what do you think it looked like on my skin? Do you think that it looked nice? Do you think that it didn't look nice? Do you think that it blurred my pores? And also, have you tried the formula, and how did it go on your skin? And also, what's your skin type? Because I need the full picture. I need all the information. But give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, guys. Thank you so much for requesting it. Leave me any other requests that you want to see down below. I love you all heaps, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!